Joe Giglio for NJ Sports Now on this Monday, December the 15th, as we get closer and closer to the end of the 2014 NFL season. 2 weeks from right now, 2 weeks from today, will be Black Monday in the NFL, where a slew of head coaches will be shown the door and new regimes will start around the National Football League. For the New York Giants, we've been waiting and wondering all year long what really is the future of head coach Tom Coughlin. What's the future of the New York Giants organization? And when the Giants were spiraling out of control in the middle of this season, looking like, this could be a 3 or 4 win team, you wondered how merciful the Giants would be to a head coach in Coughlin that has brought 2 Super Bowls to the organization. But now, back-to-back wins, and really, if you go back, the Giants were a bounce here, a bounce there from winning 5 consecutive games. 5 interceptions from Eli Manning against the Niners. Take 1 or 2 of those away, or just a bounce goes differently near the end zone. The Giants beat a Niners team who has their own issues out in San Francisco. The Giants had a lead and could have beat Dallas, a team that, as we saw last night against Philadelphia, is on their way to winning the NFC East. Then, of course, there was that blown lead against the Jaguars, which was just ridiculous in the moment. Even more ridiculous now as you watch the Jaguars play. Now back-to-back wins against the Titans 2 weeks ago, and then yesterday at home against the Washington Redskins. And you watch the way this Giants team is starting to progress here. And I know we like to think about the Giants as a trajectory that is going down, right? You think about the 2011 Super Bowl, and what have they done since then? Another 9-7 finish, 7-9. The team 5-9 now with a couple games to go. They'll finish somewhere between 5-11 or 7-9, 6-10. Probably the most likely finish here. And if you look at the Giants' trajectory and say from 2011 to now, they're on a downward slope, it is easy to say they need to be rebooted here. But I think we have to look at the Giants a little bit differently in the context of this season. Are they improving as the year is going along, or are they continuing to get worse? I see a team that has improved from where they were in the month of October, improved from where they were getting blown out against the Colts, getting blown out against the Eagles, really not having much of a chance in the fourth quarter in Dallas. They're a better team now than they were then, and it's for a few reasons. And Victor Cruz not being there has obviously hurt, but that has helped lead to the emergence here of Odell Beckham Jr., 12 catches yesterday, 3 touchdowns. The kid is just phenomenal. Debates on Twitter yesterday, is he already the best receiver in the NFL? The defense racking up sacks over 20 the past few weeks. They're looking much, much better than they did earlier in the season. This all comes back to Tom Coughlin. It all comes back to the Giants' short and long-term future. And you look at the team, where they are now, how they're playing, and fans say this all the time, analysts say this all the time, you don't want to be fooled by a short sample size. You don't want to be fooled by victories over the awful Titans and over a Redskins team that just can't get out of their own way. You don't want to be fooled by it, but also on the flip side, it's hard to ignore. The Giants are playing better football now, and you do have to wonder, and you have to imagine what the organization, what next year will be like if they do reboot. If you bring in a new head coach with a new offensive system, how does that affect the trajectory and the tail end of Eli Manning's career? The way the Giants are playing right now, the way this offense is starting to move right now, the way Eli and Beckham have developed a relationship right now and throw Cruz back in there next year, and the way the young defense is playing, you can make the case that the Giants can tweak here and tweak there and improve exponentially next year. And I look at this Giants team, I look at what the options are out there and what Tom Coughlin has meant to the Giants. And you hear the report, 99.9% Tom Coughlin is coming back for the 2015 season. I believe it is the right decision. I believe if the Giants bring Tom Coughlin back, they can be a winning football team again as early as next year. I think with this team back at full strength, which in the NFL it's hard to ever have full strength, but I look at where the Giants are now, the way they're playing, and I do think Tom Coughlin, yes, Tom Coughlin, who weeks ago we were all wondering when and if and how the Giants would say goodbye. I still think, as I watch the Giants on a week in, week out basis, he's still the best option to be their head coach moving forward. I'm Joe Giglio for NJ Sports.